Keeneland leaders have the track tested after 3 horses suffered fatal fractures. What experts have to say about the condition of that track.
Police in Hardin County are trying to a man wanted for stealing thousands of dollars worth of jewelry from a pawn shop. And we have video of the crime.
The first solar power energy facility is coming to Kentucky later this spring. Coming up, we'll show you where it is.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. We're less than 3 weeks away from an event that will bring thousands to the Bluegrass.
The countdown is on to the Breeders' Cup, and Keeneland leaders are not taking any chances. So far, this fall meet, they've dealt with 3 fatal injuries to horses on the main track. It's the same track Keeneland switched from poly to dirt just last year. Our Kristen Kennedy is talking to track leaders to figure out if the change is due to blame for the fatal fractures. It's our top story at 5:30.
The Keeneland president told us that the track is not to blame for those 3 deadly injuries. He says there are a number of factors that can lead a horse to fracture a bone.
Well, there's really not any one thing, but we make sure that this one thing that we have most control over, that we're doing it perfectly.
Perfection on the track is a priority for Keeneland President Bill Thomason. A recent review shows the dirt surface met all pre-meet test criteria and that crews were properly performing maintenance.
Every day of every race meet, we're making moisture measurements. We're checking the base of the track. We're looking at the safety conditions.
Looking back at the last 9 years, the number of catastrophic injuries on the main track during a fall meet was highest in 2007 with 4. We're not even halfway through this year's fall meet, and we've seen 3.
1 is unacceptable, and we don't want that. But is it unusual? No. Is it consistent with what we even saw, unfortunately, back when we had poly track, when we had a synthetic surface? It is.
Crews did euthanize a 4th horse during this fall meet. That horse, Skyring, fractured his leg during a race on turf in Lexington. Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
The president of Keeneland told our crew that jockeys, owners, and trainers have expressed confidence in the track as well. They do not foresee any safety problems with the upcoming Breeders' Cup.
Police continue to search for 3 people of interest for the shooting of a man found dead in a southern Kentucky cabin. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Pulaski County. The sheriff's office found 34-year-old Danny Poor's body at Pulaski County Park Sunday afternoon. They believe he was killed sometime over the weekend. Police have identified Cara Bell, Jesse Brown, and Rexel Brown as persons of interest in the case. They say they want to talk to them. In Hardin County, police are looking for a man accused of breaking into a pawn shop, and the crime was all caught on camera. It happened early Friday morning at Pawn Masters in Radcliffe. Police say the man broke in through a second-floor window, ran downstairs, and filled a plastic bag with jewelry from a display case. The owners of Pawn Masters say they believe they know who stole from them. They say the suspect is someone they've helped in the past. Police have not released the name of the man they're looking for, but the owners say the thief left his phone at their store. In Madison County, police have arrested 3 people accused of breaking into a school. Berea police say 34-year-old Terry McFerrin and 2 juveniles broke into the Berea Community School Friday night and stole $3,000 worth of items. The superintendent says he found out on Monday that the school had been broken into. Officers say they watched the footage from the school's security cameras and were able to identify the juveniles who led them to McFerrin. Police found the stolen items at McFerrin's home and at the home of one of the juveniles.
Well, the rain has moved out and the chilly temperatures are moving in, but at least we saw some sunny skies today. Gorgeous day out there. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has an early look at the fall forecast. Jim?
And, we had sunshine out there yesterday before those thunder showers pressed through here late in the evening and into the nighttime period. So it ended up being a really nice day. But last night was wet, and now we're getting the backside of those showers and storms. That's this, the chill in the air, because compared to yesterday at this same time, we're about 10, 11 degrees cooler in Lexington. Not quite as bad to our south and east because they're closer to the 70-degree mark. But you got to remember, we maxed out very close to 80 degrees yesterday in many spots. Let's go with the hour-by-hour temperature outlook here. We go through the overnight, early tomorrow morning, a few low 40s perhaps, try to creep into the area. Maybe some of the sheltered valleys you might see an upper 30-degree reading or so. Tomorrow, we're in the mid-60s, pretty much area-wide. That's actually pretty decent. Then we get into the early morning on Thursday. Thursday itself will be a fantastic day, but it starts off like this with a lot of folks in the 30s. You can see some of those readings coming in, either of the upper 30s or low 40s. Pretty common out there for you. So if you don't see frost on Thursday, I promise, here's the focus of the forecast. The first frost will likely be here this weekend, as temperatures will go even colder than that at night. We might have some low 30s, maybe upper 20s in some cases. We'll track those chances coming up for you in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Jim. It's the first of its kind in the Bluegrass State. Kentucky Utilities and Louisville Gas and Electric are teaming up to create a solar power facility in Mercer County.
It isn't up and running just yet, but our Mike Linden got a look at the plans today. He tells us how much power leaders think they'll get from the facility in a story that's new at 5:30.
We've been coal-powered electricity for more than 100 years, but things are changing.
While electricity produced from coal and water isn't going anywhere, Kentucky Utilities and Louisville Gas and Electric are looking toward the future. The first solar power facility in Kentucky is coming to Mercer County this spring.
It's more than a pilot project. It is a project that will be generating electricity into our system. So once it's online, it's online.
Feltham says 45,000 solar panels will be installed on the 52-acre plot next month. KU officials estimate the panels could produce 10 megawatts of electricity, enough to provide energy to 1,500 homes a month.
KU officials say while solar energy is cleaner than energy produced by coal and even water, they say water is 10 times more effective at producing energy than solar panels.
While KU doesn't have plans to expand beyond the first facility in Mercer County, Feltham says solar energy could one day overtake coal-fired energy.
And at this point, we're not convinced that that's what's going to happen, but we do want to experiment with it and find out if it really will work.
In Mercer County, Mike Linden, WKYT.
KU officials say while solar energy production is good for the environment, right now it's not the least expensive option for customers when it comes to lowering their monthly bills.
High school students in Perry County are doing something special for a teacher hurt in a motorcycle crash last week. Today, students in Buckhorn wore mismatched socks to school. They say mismatched socks is Hannah Stewart's thing. Stewart teaches agriculture at Buckhorn. This is the first year for the program, and it's Stewart's first year teaching. One student says she helped him take a role he never considered.
I didn't really want to take the Sentinel job, but she's like, yeah, Danny, you'll be pretty good at this, and she just pushed me to be better than what I am and what I thought I was.
Buckhorn's principal says Stewart is recovering at UK Hospital.
New tonight, health insurer Humana has agreed to settle lawsuits filed by its own shareholders. Back in July, Aetna announced it was buying Humana for $37 million. In a class action suit filed in Louisville, a shareholder claimed the merger undervalues Humana and it unfairly compensates its stockholders. Humana says it will settle the case and they intend on keeping base operations in Louisville. It's not yet known if the shareholders will accept the settlement. A Kentucky Development Fund is offering grants to organizations that create an economic impact on the region. The Kentucky Appalachian Regional Development Fund is giving Eastern Kentucky communities the chance to apply for up to $250,000 in grant money for projects. The projects include job creation and retention, tourism, and economic diversity. The first round of applications is due December 18th.
Now, we are about 48 hours from a UK football game on Thursday night at Commonwealth against Auburn, and it will dramatically change parking around campus. Our good question, where can I go to get the basic details on where to park and how to navigate all the traffic changes? The university, city, and police have been planning on this event for about a year. You can go to ukathleticsgameday.com/Thursday. Some of the headlines: permit parking lots will open at 8 a.m. on Thursday. Free non-permit parking in structures number 2 and 6 open at 3:30 in the afternoon on Thursday. Also, parking is free in parking structure number 3 after 5 p.m. The main RV lot will open at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. And a free shuttle called Go Ground leaves from Rupp Arena on West High and from High Street directly south of the Transit Center to Garage every 25 minutes on Thursday. Pre-game, LexTran will operate a shuttle between Keeneland and Commonwealth Stadium, one bus every hour that costs $1 a person each way. If you have a good question, go to WKYT.com. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and in connection with the national movement, Kentucky First Lady Jane Beshear and Greenhouse 17 in Lexington announced huge funding for some new housing for domestic violence victims.
The $4 million project includes 24 apartments for women trying to make the transition to a normal life again. 12 apartments will be on Greenhouse 17's property in eastern Fayette County. The other 12 will be in town near New Circle Road. Leaders at the shelter say this type of housing is useful in helping women get back on their feet.
I find that people want to get back to their families and be head of household and be able to cook dinner, you know, just sort of do those things that all families do, but maybe aren't quite ready to live out in the community by themselves.
Residents of the apartments will also have access to the organization's famed community garden.